G'day folks, in this video I'll show you how to solve this 4x4 rhombic dodecahedron. So this is a land puzzle and it's quite an interesting puzzle. It's obviously a 4x4 shape mod, but yeah, it presents its own challenges, and the centres this time are these things, and they obviously have an orientation unlike the centres of a 4x4. So I'm just going to scramble it up first of all. Alright, well when it's scrambled it's a bit of a mess of colours. What we're going to do is start by just focusing on one little centrepiece here. I'm going to look at the red-orange, and there's two possible red pieces that will go here. And what I mean by that is, for example, the red-grey, that is a possibility because the red actually slots into that. What do we got here? The red-blue, that is a possibility. And the third red piece is this one. Now if we place that around there, we can see that that little red piece, there's no way that I can get the red turned around in this position. So it can't be the red-green, it's got to be the red-blue or the red-grey. So we'll say, well, let's pretend it's the red-blue. If that's the case, there should be a blue piece and an orange piece which have a common colour. So I'm going to go searching for that. And as soon as I do, I see this blue-orange together. Now if there's a blue-orange piece together, there's no way that the blue and the orange can be separated. So that proves that it can't be the red-blue, it must be the red other one, which was the red-grey. And now we're going to look, just to confirm it, for a grey-orange which have a common colour. What have we got in the grey? Grey-light blue, grey-purple, and grey-light green. So we're now going to search for an orange with one of them. Light blue, purple and light green. Purple. There we go. So the orange purple and the grey purple are the two pieces that we now know must go here. So we've got to go and find them and put them together. There's the grey purple, and the orange purple's up here. So I'm going to move, just check not to disturb what I'd already done, which is those two, so that's fine. I've got to move get the purples to match, so I can move that up to there to make a matching set of purples, and now attach those two to there, and I've completed my first centre. So this is quite a bit harder than just on a normal 4x4 because each centrepiece has its own colour scheme and orientation. So that's how we do the first one. Now having done that first one, I'm going to move along to this one. I'm going to do the second one based on this colouring here. So I can see there's two purples. There's only two other purple pieces that can go here, so I've just got to find where they are and match them up so that they'll fit in that position. So there's a purple light blue and a purple green. Now I'm going to put them into that position if I can, and the thing that I notice is if I turn it down, in fact I don't want to turn it down there at all, I want to turn it onto this position here. So let's turn that around like that. I've now matched them up. As a very triple check, I'm now going to say, well, assuming this is all good, there should be a corner that goes here, or yeah, a corner functioning as a corner that has, going clockwise, purple, grey, light blue. Let's see if we can find that corner. There it is, purple, grey, light blue. Bonza, that means we're on the right track. We now need to complete this second centre, and we say, well, the second centre must have a green and a blue piece which have a common colour. And so this is a light blue and a standard green. So let's see what light blue pieces we've got available. Grey. What else have we got? Oh, there's the grey. And pink. And just getting the bearings back here. What about the green? We've got a pink. So there's a green pink, and if I remember, a light blue pink. So those two pieces must be the ones that go together. So I'm going to just move them out of the way and bring them together first of all. So there's the green pink, looking to bring that pink up. Now I'm going to disturb that. So as I bring it up, I then turn that face and return that there. Now this all being well, this here that we just made, those two pieces should now be able to go and slot in there, and that will create the second centre reduced. I'm going to continue going around here. So now I'm looking for the other two pink pieces that go together. So I've got a pink, white, and a pink yellow. So being careful not to disturb what I've already done. There's a pink yellow on the bottom. Let's turn that pink white around. So I'll bring that face down, turn the small face and return, and just check that everything is still where I had it. That's the first center, that's the second. Now we're trying to make this one here. So if I turn that up, turn that around, and just return what I had. Let's see, in fact it was only one turn. You can see there's the first center, there's the second, here's part of the third, and now I've got white and a yellow piece with a common colour that needs to go here to complete that third. So I've got a dark blue. Do I have a yellow dark blue? Don't seem to. What other whites do I have? A little light purple. And I reckon it's going to be yellow light purple given that. Yep, there it is. So it's the white, sort of, I don't know what colour you'd call that, light purple, mauve, I don't know. So they get the common colours together, match them up, turn the face, return. Because of the colour matching, I always like to check that I haven't mucked up something I've previously done. So there's the first, second, here's the third. Where were those two pieces I just made? Right there. So I want to turn the position down, turn this little face, put them on and return them. And you can see there's 3 centres that have been reduced. Now I'm going to work my way around these last 3. So I know now what I've got to use, and I can see that 2 white pieces need to go here, 2 orange pieces need to go here. These 2 need to be dark greens, the only other 2 dark greens. So let's see if we can match the 2 dark greens up. A green orange and a green white. I'll put them together, turn the face and return, and I want to bring those 2 down onto this face. So first of all I'll bring them down there, and now just turn it to match the greens. Now all being well, having done that, the white will match here, the orange will match there, that's great. Now I've got to get the other white and orange pieces. There they are. And so to match them up, they've got to go in that position. So I'm going to turn that around, bring them down. You can see they now match up, and I can just turn that face and it's all good. Now having done that, I can say, well, I've got 2 to go. I'm going to continue doing this, the exact same thing for this 5th centre. So the 2 blues need to be matched. So I want to match that with that. They're on the same face, and so I'm going to move this one off to a different face first of all, and let's have a look. I can turn that one, and I can turn that. So that enables me now to bring those 2 blues together. And where do they have to go? I know that they have to go around here. You can see they'll match with that. So the other 2 pieces need to be the light purple and the red. So let's just leave that there because I've got to fill that spot. There's one, there's the other, and basically got to separate these pieces. So in order to separate them, I know that the common colour here looks like it's going to be the green, so I've got to get the greens together. Now that being the case, I'm going to firstly turn that off. I can use these bits because I haven't done them yet. In fact, I'm going to turn that around so it separates the pieces on different faces. Now when I turn that green around, I've got this green here that can come up to there. Turn that and bring it back down to that face, and that's matched up that 5th centre. When I turn it, you'll see that everything is looking pretty good as far as the centres go. Now the last centre, there's going to be, if you're really lucky, you'll have them all solved. That hardly ever happens. In fact, I can't remember that happening when I've been solving it. The other possibility is that we have a 3 cycle or even 2 to swap. So if we have 2 to swap, as in this case, we want to create a 3 cycle. You can see those 2 there need to be swapped. That blue grey needs to go there, the blue yellow needs to come over here. So in order to deal with that, we just want to turn the face one turn, just like that. Now what we'll see is that the blue yellow matches, that's correctly placed. The other three pieces are out of position. So what I've done there is create myself a 3 cycle. To solve the last 3 pieces, to move them around, I'm going to use a corner piece series, and I want to show you that now on a solved puzzle. Okay, well I'm going to be calling this my up face, this is my front, and these two are my left and right. What I'm going to be doing is a corner piece series moves. I'm going to be turning the up face as normal. When I do the left and the right, I'm just going to be turning the inner slices, just those bits there. So I'm going to turn the whole lot and then bring that outer part back. So that's a right turn, and the up prime, same thing on the left, just turning the inner slice. Continue that corner piece series. And when I'm finished, what I'm going to see is that most of the puzzle is exactly the same. What I've actually got is just a 3 cycle of these 3 corners. And what it tells me is that the piece that is here just rolls over to there. The piece that is here, the yellow pink, that's where it came from, so that rolls down that edge. And the piece that was here goes up to that diagonal. That's all I need to place the last 3 corners on this thing. Okay, well that being the case, what I've got to think is I've got that in position. I need this grey-green to cycle to here so that it will match with the grey and the green piece. And then this one, the grey-yellow, or the green-yellow, sorry, needs to cycle down to here to match with the yellow-green. The grey-blue needs to go back here. So I'm just going to turn the whole puzzle, and I do apologise for the extra noise if you can hear it. It's raining cats and dogs out here. Why not? It's the middle of summer. Okay, so I've now got that to there, that to there, that to there. So these two are nicely in position. I've got to move this grey-blue up to the up face so I can carry out the 3 cycle. So I'm just going to do some setups. Front prime, right, front. That gets those two back into position, and then this piece just needs to be turned with an up prime. So I've now got the 3 pieces ready to go, and I carry out being very careful to hold the cube in the same position all the time. So an up turn, and a right, and an up prime, and then a left prime. Just using the inner slices for the left and right layers. Up, and bring my right back. Finishing with an up prime, bring my left back. Now that's all been done. What I've got to do now is undo those setup moves. So to undo that, I'll do the up turn, and then I needed to do a front prime, in the right, and finally you can see do the front, and all of this is back together, and more importantly this 6th face here is also completely done, and that completes the reducing or the solving of the centres. Edges, and it's fairly straightforward because if we look at this one we can see that the edges that need to go there are 2 grey pieces. So initially what we can do is just pair them up, so we don't want to disturb the centres. So one technique is the following. I want to put a grey next to that grey, so I'm going to turn that grey piece up and then reverse this piece, and to do that I'll take it out onto another face and then bring it back in reversed by turning its position down and then turning it onto its position. And you can see the grey piece that we had used to be on the right and now it's on the left, so when I turn all the centres back, the centres are back together and those 2 greys are together as well. Another technique, let's find one which I can demonstrate here. And I've got 2 purples in a row. I'm looking for ones where they're not in a row. And if we can't find one like that, we'll just make one. I'm not having much luck here at all. No, they're all like that. So another technique would be something like this. We've got a blue here and we want to match it up with this blue. Well, I can turn that face temporarily, so the blues are left and right. Now having done that, I just need to remember to turn that back. I can turn the blues up together to match, and then turn them off onto another face and replace them with a piece that's not yet done. So turn that off, bring those pieces up, undo those moves, and then you remember I turned that up, so I'll turn it back and you can see the centres come in. And we had one turn here, and again we can be guided by the colours, and those are the pieces we replaced it with. We already had the greys, now we've got the blues. We just continue doing that until we're down to the last couple. And before too long we've got a red green and a red green. That's all we've got to do, and we can see the red is on the same line as that red, so we're going to turn it up and then reverse this double piece here. So to do that, take it out, with an edge piece series, and then put it back in so that we turn its position down first and then turn that piece onto the position. Oops, got to turn it properly. Here we go, and that's enough. We can turn that back. We'll just fix up any of these that are not oriented, so all the centres are back where they should be, and you can see that all of those edges have been reduced. Well, the next stage of the solve is to place the edges, and we're just guided by the centre colours. So it doesn't matter where we start. It would be good to do 4 around a particular corner if we can. So let's begin perhaps with, what's something that's close? Well, let's do this one here. We've got a purple up here, so we'll turn, always just using a full 4 turns of the edge piece series here to place these edges so that the centres stay where they should be. This one's a light blue. What's next? We've got a green, which is up there, so we'll turn that one in, and the last one here is a pink. It's miles over the other side. So with the pink, what can we do? We can actually cycle those 3. So we can turn that around, turn the pink onto it, undo the moves, and that will put the pink in place and also keep all of the centres correct. So if we look down on top of it now, that's effectively our white cross. So now I'm going to turn it up, do 3 of these middle layer edges. So here's the white, and that is over there, so I can place that as per normal. What's next? The orange is just here. Next one, the grey is already in position, so I'll then use this as my 4th middle layer edge and go ahead and try and place these 2 at the back. So the first thing is the blue has got to go there, so I can use those 3 pieces to cycle that around. There we go. Now I'm looking to do the red. Same sort of thing here. Okay. Now those 2 at the back are done, and now we can look and see what's going on. We've got a purple going to here, the yellow going to here, the green going to here, and so we can just cycle those home. And there's no concerns with orientation of the edges because they have no orientation. And that being done, that has placed all of those reduced edges. And that being done, that has placed all of those reduced edges. But there is something else that can happen, and that is we could find ourselves with a swap of 2 edges. Let's have a look at that now. Alright, well what we've got here is just this swap of 2 edges. We can't just turn this upper face to make a 3 cycle, even though it places that one and creates a 3 cycle of the edges, because it gets rid of these ones here. So what we need to do is leave that as it is, and we need to carry out a fix that I would use for the normal 4x4 cube. It's pretty simple. Here's what we do. We've got a swap of 2 edges. I need to get another swap of 2 edges to make 2 swaps of 2 edges. So I'm going to do this. Turn the upper half of the cube 1 turn. I'm going to take this edge pair out and bring it back reversed. So here we go. Take it out onto the upper face. And then to bring it back reversed, move its position up and turn it onto its position. Okay, that being done, you might remember, or you can see, the yellow used to be at the top. Turn the whole thing around, do exactly the same thing for its opposite number. And the first thing we did here was turn the upper face 2 turns, so we're going to turn the upper face 2 turns back. And what we'll see now is that the edges on the side, the grey and the whites, are intact. All of the centres are intact. The blue and the red are where they were, but now we've got a yellow and an orange that are also swapped. So one set of swapped edges is a problem, 2 sets of swapped edges, no problem at all. And so from here we would go ahead and basically resolve those edges, replace those edges. So I might put this yellow one over here, and then turning it back around. There's my third edge. Let's have a look. I've got the green and that light purple at the back are done, and now what you'll see is that I have a 3 cycle. I've got the orange to come here, the red to go there, the blue to go there, and so I can carry that out. And we're back to where we were before we had that problem, which was all of the edges placed. Now the final stage of the solve is to place our corners. These things function as corners. I'm going to use the corner piece series to do this, and so I'm looking for a corner that will roll along an edge into its place. So let's find one that does that. Okay, here we go. This red, grey, green, that is going to roll down like that into position, and so we've identified that these 2 pieces are involved. Let's make this the third one. So we've got this piece movement here, and that tells us we'll do a mirror corner piece series. Turn the upper face anti-clockwise to begin with, and we're just always turning these outer faces. And you might remember this is the same set of moves that we used earlier in the solve to cycle around these things. It's just using different parts of the cube. So that grey, red, green has been placed. Go ahead and find another one. That's no good. Now that also is no good. If we can't find any, it's certainly not the end of the world. Just have to experiment a bit. Looks like we've got one here, the purple, orange, green. That's going to roll down into that position. Don't want to involve that one, so I'm going to turn the puzzle around, and because I know that the piece that rolls along the back edge will also roll into place, so I can carry out the same mirror corner piece series. And you can see that one's now in. Let's see what else we've got. Now we've got a white, green, pink. I might roll that one up like that and see if that helps. Now, as a setup, I can see that if I turn that, that is certainly going to go into its position. And I've got these other 2 here, so once again, I'm going to carry out a mirror corner piece series. And with that done, just undo that setup move. You can see that piece is in. So that should be at least 3 that we've got done. Let's have a look. Yep, the blue, red, orange. My goodness, are all of these going to be mirrors? Maybe. So I've got these 2 pieces here. I need a piece up here, so I'm just going to turn this face to put one that I haven't done yet. There we go. Undo that. You can see that one is in place. Got this one here. This could be a record. I've never had one which has all mirrors, so that's going down to there. How many have we got left? Got those 3. Got 4 left, so let's certainly carry out this one, and we'll grab this other corner and put that into position. Okay, that will leave us 3 corners remaining to cycle. And so you can see, what have we got? This one here. Oh, finally, we're going to have a corner piece series, which is the standard one. And so we can see this one wants to roll down into that position, which is fantastic. What I need to do is get the 3rd corner into that position so that it will roll along the back edge. So the first thing I'd try would be to move it there. And look at that. That's great. That is done and ready to go. If that didn't work, I would be concocting some other setup moves, perhaps moving it around the bottom and then moving it up. But as it is, this works fine. So this is the end game, and we'll carry out a standard corner piece series now. Here we go. We can undo that setup move, and that's how we solve our corners. And you can see the 4x4 rhombic dodecahedron is solved.